shit. And now, Mike's thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, we have gone through the time and struggle of the NFL preseason, week number 1, week 2, and now we're on to week 8 going on into week 9. Let's flash back to June or July of this NFL offseason. Las Vegas Raider fans, you guys were all on this cloud 9. You guys were saying, we're going to the playoffs, we're going to win the West, we're going to go to the Super Bowl, stop sleeping on us. And I said, slow it down, baby. I said, slow it down, baby. Las Vegas Raiders, you guys are not very good. You guys have suspect quarterback play. The defense has some flaws. AP is not your coach of the future. And I was laughed at. I was laughed at over and over and over again. I was laughed at so much that many of my Raiders fans had instant dislike because you're just like, oh, you're just a Raider hater. Now, going to week 9 NFL season. Week 8 just happened. Going into week 9. The Las Vegas Raiders now are what? 2-6 on this young NFL season. They have benched Gardner Minshew not once, but twice. Insert Aiden O'Connell. He goes down with a broken thumb. He's out to 6 weeks. Signed Desmond Ridder, put him in for a play, false start, get him back out, insert back in Gardner Minshew. So for all you Las Vegas Raiders fans, I will now accept your apologies. I will now accept your apologies in form of Chiefs Kingdom. Hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. Las Vegas Raiders fans, I will take your apologies up until week 10. Until week 10 happens, the trolling will continue. The trolling of the Las Vegas Raiders will continue. And then I will tell you that I told you so over and over and over again. I'll say it once, I'll say it again, and I stand by what I say. The Las Vegas Raiders are not very good. The Las Vegas Raiders are the laughingstock of the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders are actually worse off than the Panthers, than the Jets, than, do I dare say it, the Cleveland Browns? They are a terrible franchise. I've told you guys this over and over and over again. But yet, it's still not getting in the old dome piece. So all you Las Vegas Raiders fans, John, Jim, I love you like brothers, fuck you like sisters. Y'all are pigskin punters, and I respect that. But damn, time to put some respect on the old Buckmeister's name. It is time to put the old respect on Buckmeister's name, saying, you know what, Buck, you were right. You were right, I was wrong, and I apologize. And I will be accepting those apologies for the next 2 weeks. So as of December 28th, 2024, 1:33 p.m. here on the East Coast time, I will take your apologies, Las Vegas Raiders fans. Until then, cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Bakacha here with the Man Hour Show, the manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, or check out the blog section as well. And be like my man Drew here. That's right, Mr. Drew here. And become a Pigskin Pundit. Be like Drew and get Pigskin Pundit. You get some free merch, you get some hoodies, you get some t-shirts, you get access to game footage. So like, if you are a Raiders fan, you're like, I don't get the Raiders because they suck and they're never on national TV. You hit me up and say, Buck, I want to watch the Raiders, bada bing, bada boom. I got you. We'll stream that out there on our Discord just for you. Just like yesterday, we streamed the Browns-Ravens game. We streamed the Colts-Texas game yesterday. We streamed the Chiefs game because many people did not get the Chiefs game, which is odd to me, but I guess people want to watch the Bears Commanders. We streamed Sunday Night Football, and tonight we'll be bringing the New York Giants taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. All over there on their old Discord page, guys. In the description below, join the Discord. It is totally free to join the Discord. You just don't have any say of what game you want to pick up there because you got to be a Pigskin Pundit like my man Drew. What's up, Drew? What's up? What's up? What's up? But guys, it is Monday edition. 2 hours of Man Hour NFL talk moving forward. We're going to test the old waters, see how the old 2-hour format works, and we're going to talk about the mighty, mighty Dallas Cowboys today. We are going to talk about the mighty Dallas Cowboys today, and boy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am eating some crow. I'm eating some crow about the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to be talking about them. Baltimore Ravens, I hate to say it, I told you so, but I told you so. Browns came up and beat the Baltimore Ravens. We'll be talking about that as well. And of course, it's Way or No Way Monday. So we got to talk about the Detroit Lions. Are they now Super Bowl favorites? Are they Super Bowl competitors? Way or no way on that. We're going to talk about the Jets. We're going to talk about Anthony Richardson tapping himself out. I'm tired, coach. Kick me out. Dude, you're an effing quarterback. Get your ass in there. But we'll digress. We'll talk about that. And of course, we got to talk about... Oh, do we talk about it? Yeah, we got to talk about the New York Jets. We got to talk about the New York Jets as well. They are on the topic of today as well. But before we get too carried away, I need to redo that intro song, make it a little bit longer. We got to welcome some people like in the chat. Like I said, we welcome Drew into the chat. We got my man James Franks in the chat celebrating that victory last night. I saw a picture on a trash talk group full of all jerseys. He's sleeping with all of his teammates, loving life. James Frank says, let's effing go. I can be happy for a week. That's what a team win looks like in the Cleveland Browns. And in the spirit, the voice of the Browns at the stadium, rest in heaven, Jim Donovan. So James is a Browns fan guy, and he is on cloud 9 right now. James has been crying in misery for a very, very long time. We, the Man Hour community, have wrapped our arms around James and said, James, we understand your struggle. We understand your Cleveland Browns suck, but it will be okay. It will be okay, James, and he is on cloud 9 right now. So everybody, let's get up and give James a big round of applause. Let's give him a big pat on the back and say, you did it. You did it, James. You did it, man. You did it. We also got to welcome Laura into the chat as well. Laura and James are everydayers here. You guys, I'm going to get you some everydayer t-shirts. They'll be on the way here probably next month or so. I got to design them. Okay it with the wife, make sure they look good, bada bing, bada boom. We'll get you guys some everydayer shirts. But she says, good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon as well as Laura. Hopefully you are being safe out there, Laura. Don't be getting in no trouble. Don't be getting in me no trouble. But it is what it is. And Drew, shooting those shots at my man BC Combs. Says, I bet Combs is just loving his Bears today. So, Drew, I did a courtesy check on Combsy last night. I called him. I said, are you okay? And he hung the phone up on me. So Combs is okay, but I got to be interested to see what he has to say about the Chicago Bears moving forward. John is in the chat as well. John is a pigskin pundit as long as Drew is. John says, what's up, y'all? What's up, John? Hope you're having a grand old day. John, he has now switched his fandom from being a solely Las Vegas Raiders fan, and now he is 100% Detroit Lions bandwagon fan. So John is now the biggest Detroit Lions fan out there, guys. So let's go ahead and give John a big round of applause too. John, great win for your team up there today. And Laura says, I still wish the Raiders would have pulled off the W. They ain't gonna pull off that dub. Now, if it was at Arrowhead, it would have been a different story. I'm just saying. Drew says it is lunchtime. Drew, well, good thing for you, buddy. I believe you're in Nebraska, so it's 12:30 right at lunchtime. Moving forward, at 12:30 your time, we'll be going live. We'll be going live for a full 2 hours here, guys, starting right now, 1:30 East Coast time, 12:30 Central time, moving forward. So we will do our like our best, Drew, to make sure you have a good lunch break. That was one heck of a Hail Mary. So Laura is referring to the Commanders-Bears game when Jaden Daniels threw that 70-yard pass for Hail Mary. The Commanders guy was wide open in the end zone. It bounced to him, bada bing, bada boom, touchdown, game-winning thing, right? And Laura, with that being said, like, Cindy and I were sitting here talking because she gets home late because she's a nurse, and we're talking about the game. I'm like, babe, you just missed the best play ever, yada, yada, yada. And I was sitting back thinking, I'm like, this is the first Hail Mary that I've ever seen live, right? I mean, like, obviously I've seen like the replays of Flutie and Rodgers and other big Hail Marys, right? But this is the first one that I've actually sat there and I was able to see live. And that has to be such a degrading way. Like, you're all hyped because we saw the Bears guy pumping up the crowd, talking his stuff, right? And then you go from here to complete utter failure. Like, man, that has to be so heartbreaking. But it was one heck of a Hail Mary. We will be talking about the Chicago Bears coming up on Way or No Way here, guys, in about an hour or so. But we got to talk about the Cowboys and the Ravens first coming up, and continue to welcome people into the chat. Here we got Jim Powell in the chat as well. He says, what's wrong with it? What's everyone wrong about today? Well, Jim, I am still accepting apologies from behalf of you of Raider Nation. You are the king of Raider Nation over there, so I will be accepting apologies from the Raider Nations over for the next 2 weeks. So definitely submit your written apologies in APA format. Cite your sources in proper APA format as well, and we will decide that, you know, I am not going to dog you. James says LML, he is in his feelings to everything going on. He'll be okay. Every dog has its day. Exactly. James Frank says the Lions are nice. Dominated on all cylinders. We'll be talking about the Lions. And my man Robert Tree is in the chat as well. We'll be talking about the Lions. We guys, buckle up. We on Way or No Way coming up here on hour number 2. We will be talking about the Detroit Lions. We'll be talking about how much overrated they are. That's right. I said overrated. So stay tuned for that. Laura says, I was running errands, finding the hubby his Christmas present yesterday, watching the games on my phone and screaming. Laura was that weird lady in old Walmart randomly yelling. You thought she's crazy. She's just watching the games. She is just watching the games. Drew says, I remember seeing Hail Marys in the 80s. And I don't, because this is the first live one I've ever saw. And I was very, 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 very intrigued by that. But guys, let's get in today's show. And on today's show, we got to talk about the mighty Dallas Cowboys. We got to talk about how wrong I have been about the Dallas Cowboys all season long. How much of crow I am going to be eating about the Dallas Cowboys over probably the rest of the season. Let's just be honest. Because the Dallas Cowboys dropped yet another game this season in which they had opportunities to win. And I thought, go Cowboys go, but they drop another game to the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football, 30-23. Not only did they lose this game, they just did not really play great at all, right? Did not really just show up, right? They rushed for 19 times for 56 yards. Dalvin Cook was inserted into the lineup with like Zeke. I'm like, oh, baby, here we go. And then I realized it wasn't 2019 anymore. It wasn't 2018 anymore. We're in 2024. So Dalvin Cook and Zeke, 56 total yards. Congratulations. And I think half of those probably came from Dak anyways. CeeDee Lamb balled out, right? 143 yards receiving. Got those da-da-da-da bills, y'all. But the rest of the team, 153 yards. 153 yards. Guys, I've been trying to defend the Dallas Cowboys all season long. I have been trying to defend, like, hey, they're a piece away. They're this away. It's like if they go do this or this or this, they could be a great team. They can win the East still. They can potentially go to the playoffs and win a wild card game. Guys, I am done with the Dallas Cowboys. Not only am I done with it, I am jumping off the bandwagon. I'm taking my jerseys. I'm putting them in the back of the closet so I never see Micah Parsons' name again for the rest of my life. And guys, this season is over for the Dallas Cowboys. They have some good talent. I get it. But we talk bad about the Jets, how the Jets they just have a roster. They're not playing as a team. They don't do this, and this. Right? The Dallas Cowboys are worse off than the Jets are. The Dallas Cowboys are a terrible team. Now, you can say, oh, they have injuries, they have this, they have that, whatever. No, at the end of the day, they just suck. I mean, I am jumping off the Dallas Cowboys bandwagon. I am eating crow. They probably won't win another game for the rest of the season. I can no longer defend this team. I can no longer be nice about the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot defend a team that gives up on itself. And that is what we saw with the Dallas Cowboys the last few weeks, is they've given up on themselves. They feel bad about themselves. They are tired. They are this. I'm tired of it. I am so sick and tired of defending a team that can't even defend itself. Like, come on. Like, figure yourselves out, Dallas Cowboys. Figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. But this season, 2024 NFL season, is over for the Dallas Cowboys. It is over, and I am eating crow. Last Friday, I said, hey, this team could be contenders. This team goes out and they play the way that I think they're capable of playing. They pick up a running back during the bye week. They could be contenders. What did they do? They elevate Dalvin Cook from the practice squad because Rico got sick like the day of, right? They rushed for 56 yards with Zeke and Dalvin Cook and Dak, right? They threw for 153 yards to the rest of the receivers besides CeeDee Lamb. And really, CeeDee just got his yardage and mop-up duty when they're down 30-10, down by 20 points. That's when he got the bulk of his yardage. So the Dallas Cowboys have been dominated for yet the second straight week in a row. At least they made it somewhat respectable looking versus the 49ers. But damn it, I am done with the Dallas Cowboys. I am done with them. I am over them. And I am so sick and tired of trying to defend them. I just can't do it anymore. I just cannot do it anymore. So guys, before we get too deep into this conversation, let me ask the question. For one, is the Dallas Cowboys season over? That's a simple yes or no. And if anybody says no, I need a valid reason why. Why do you think their season's not over? Number two, do they blow it up? Do they blow it up? They should, but they won't, because Jerry Jones is an idiot. Jerry Jones is a typical man's man. What do I mean by man's man? A man's man that cannot admit when he's wrong. Like, there's been times in my marriage that I've been 100% wrong. 100% wrong. And you know what? I'm going to die on this sword. No, I am right. Even though in the back of my head, like, damn it, I am wrong. I am wrong 100%. But you know what? I'm going to die on this sword because that's what Jerry Jones is doing right now. What is the old saying? Was it is it a death by 1,000 cuts or something just like that? Well, last night was 1,000 cuts. Dallas Cowboys are dead to me. Dead. James Frank says George Kittle balled out. He balled out in the second half for sure. Got me like 28 fantasy points. I love that on National Tight Ends Day. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And Jim says, how much crow? Because I will for sure as well. Honestly, Jim, I am eating a lot of crow for the Dallas Cowboys right now. I have so much crow to eat for the Dallas Cowboys over the last 3 years of defending them on countless other shows, here on the Man Hour for the last 2 NFL seasons. Like, what? At some point, you just got to get the F out of here, and that's what I'm doing. So, guys, go shoot me down a Raven, boil it, make it nice and chewy, make it that gray meat, that gray matter, right? And just let me eat it. And Drew's like, I've been telling you the Cowboys suck for 6 years. I get it, Drew. I know. I'm wrong. I am wrong. Laura says, Niners came to win last night. It was a great game. And to be honest, Laura, the Niners in the first half looked sluggish. They looked sluggish, and that's why the defense of the Dallas Cowboys probably looked well, right? Debo could really never get any separation. He looked a little slow, like he lost a step. Granted, he was just in the hospital for 2 days. He's still huffing and puffing with like ammonia on the sideline. Like, I get it, but the 49ers didn't really turn it on till the third quarter, and then they dominated that quarter. So James Frank says, CD got me like 29 fantasy points in my one league last night. Let's go. All in mop-up duty, but hey, let's go. 2 tutties, 143 yards. Let's go, baby. John says, talk about Sinbad's son real bad, not to disappoint. We'll be talking about Dak coming up. Trust me. I got a lot of bridges to burn with Dak. Sheesh, this man. Drew says the Cowgirls will not improve until Jones either sells or passes. So, obviously, Drew, I kind of concur with that, right? Because I associate, I do some film editing stuff for this guy on the side with his band and his podcast. And he's an older gentleman. He's probably pushing 70, 80, right? And he always lives on the glory days, right? He always wants to talk about what I done, what I did, right? Not about what you're doing now, but what you done did. And that kind of seems what Jerry Jones is all about. Look, what we done did this, right? I bought the team back in the 90s or whatever it was, and we won 3 Super Bowls 3 and 4 years. Look what we done did. Not like what we're doing now. He is afraid to admit that he is messed up now. He is afraid to admit that his team's a failure now. He is afraid that, you know what? Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. But hey, let me look back over here. Man, those were pretty nice days. Look what I did. Look what I did 30 years ago. But it's 2024, Jerry. But worry about 1994. Look what we did then. And until Jerry Jones, unfortunately, he's never going to sell the team. So Dallas Cowboys fans, get that out of your head. The team is worth, what was it, $10.3 billion, the richest franchise ever, right? And they continue to grow year after year after year. He's not selling the team. And he is going to be like that old man that you're like, oh man, I just can't wait till he dies. And he lives on for another 15 years. That could be Jerry Jones. The only way the Cowboys are going to improve is if he passes, right? Which is, I'm not wishing death on anybody. That's just silly. But if he decides to hire an actual general manager, maybe if he actually decides to distinguished roles, right? He is the owner, and then you have a CEO and a CFO and then a COO and a general manager. There needs to be proper change of commandment, because right now, 83-year-old Jerry Jones is not a good GM. Should have been fired years ago. He's a great owner, terrible GM. So they just need to hire a general manager. Laura says season was over before it even started. What are you talking about, Willis? Come on, Laura. We know we had high hopes for the Dallas Cowboys. We all knew that we thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to be the dogs of the NFC East. I had such high hopes for the Dallas Cowboys. They're dead to me. Dead. James Frank says, told you, the Eagles and Commanders are fighting for that top spot, and they are. James, you're right. I am eating crow. I have grown as a man. I have grown as a person. I have grown as a community figurehead, or whatever you want to call this, right? I have grown, and I can admit that I was wrong. I was wrong about the Dallas Cowboys all season long. I was trying to build up their hype. I was trying to ride the hype wagon. I was sold on them. I love me some Dallas Cowboys, but damn it, you're right. Commanders and Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Raise hell. Hurdle NFL, which is trademarked, he says, man, here we go again. This team might never win a championship. I am ashamed to be a fan. Got me lying to my friends. Lulu belt straight to ass. Dak cannot complete a pass. CeeDee Lamb be playing like trash. Hurdle NFL. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan too. Where's my ball? There is my ball. I got a Dak Prescott. I got a Micah Parsons jersey. I got a, who else jersey I got in there? I got Sean Lee. Sean Lee was my favorite linebacker for a very, very long time. I'm a Cowboys fan. And it hurts me to kill them right now. I should be building them up. I could be like, hey, you guys are just right there. You guys are right there. You just do a little bit of this and do a little of that. We can go to the moon, baby, but they can't and they won't. They can't and they won't. And that is what is so problematic with this team. 2-5 says it's Dak Prescott. It is beyond Dak Prescott. At this point, it is an organizational thing. It might be the 96 curse for all we know, and we just haven't put a name on it. I'm putting a name on it now. It is the curse of Bobby Switzer. It's the curse of Jimmy Johnson, right? It is the JJ curse. That is what it is. Just like how the Boston Red Sox had that curse of the GOAT, curse of the Gambino, or whatever. It goes beyond Dak Prescott. It goes beyond Mike McCarthy. It goes beyond Mike Zimmer. It goes beyond CeeDee Lamb. It goes beyond any aspect of the generation team, right? It starts at the head, and it is the curse around the city. Jerry Jones sold his soul to the devil to win those 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, and now we need to break the curse. Maybe it's just a 30-year curse. Maybe it was only 25 to life, and we served our 25 years. And we're out. We got our lives to live now. But damn, John Cunningham says there's room on the Lions wagon. We are winning the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Lions, John, coming up. We are talking about the Lions coming up soon here. But the Dallas Cowboys right now, guys, they are dead to me. They are dead. Derek says, did you hear about the 49ers Stadium deploying the concrete barriers on Jerry's going? Yeah. So I kind of know the whole story. I just kind of heard what Chris Collinsworth was talking in the background, and every time Chris talks, I start to tune out. Let's just be honest. But I did hear that the concrete barriers collided with a cargo van that had Jerry Jr., his wife, and some other people that are associated with the Dallas Cowboys ownership to block them out of, like, I don't know, like if they were trying to drive through security, like with lack of life without getting checked, like, nope. Something happens, right? Jim says, Adams is looking for another trade. We're going to talk about the Jets, Jim. Stay tuned. Drew says the Cowboys are not as bad as the Jets. How are they not at this point? Let's just be honest, Jim. How are the Cowboys not as bad as the Jets? what the Jets ownership, Woody Johnson, came in what was it? Like 2010 or 2012 or something like that. And those 10, 12 years that he has been the owner, he probably has more wins than Jerry Jones. Playoff wins, right? Now, wins, regular season, Dallas Cowboys do well. Of course, 12, 13 wins all the time. It is all about the big game. It's all about winning it, right? But honestly, if we're looking at a graph and we're seeing worst franchises in the NFL the last 20 years, right? It's going to be Carolina Panthers, New York Jets, Dallas Cowboys, Cleveland Browns. All kind of right there vying for that number one spot. It all just depends on what angle and what facts you want to present. But right now, I think the Dallas Cowboys are probably the worst organization in the NFL. Hands down. John says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we tried to tell you that Dallas Cowboys suck. Some folks are quicker than others. John out here politely calling me stupid. John, I love the politeness. NFL hurdle. I read you, man. I read you, dog. You don't need the same thing like eight times. Slow it down, baby. Laura says, yes, the season is over. And Jim, bringing some logic here, says the Cowboys season ain't over yet. They still have to lose another 10 games. John says, yes, the season is over, and I told you so. You did tell me so. James says, bro, just stick with your Chiefs. You can't go wrong with that. I get the Chiefs are AFC and the Cowboys are NFC, but keep your fandom to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, guys, is the Dallas Cowboys season over? Yes or no? Yes or no? And when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys, I see 2Vive right here saying Dak has to go. This is the second or third time here I've seen a comment about Dak. Dak has to go. Dak is the reason. Dak is this, this, and this, and this. So let's talk about Dak Prescott. Let's talk about this top 5 NFL quarterback that I've been hyping up for the last 2-3 seasons. Let's talk about the second in the MVP voting from 2023. Let's talk about Dakota Prescott. Let's talk about how I am jumping off the Dak Prescott wagon as well. Dak Prescott played a horrible game last night. Dak Prescott used to be a top 5 quarterback. Dak Prescott used to be a really, really good quarterback. Else, potentially breaking in that top 3 landscape. But this season has just been a roller coaster of emotions for me. Good Lord. Last night versus the 49ers, he had 2 horrible interceptions. It wasn't the receiver's fault for running bad routes or not giving full effort. It was a simply bad read on one of them and then a bad throw on the other one. 2 horrible game-changing interceptions. Now let's give Dak Prescott a little bit of credit. They were down 30-10, and he did lead the Cowboys to 2 touchdowns, making it a nice 23-20 or 30-23 game. But let's look into the final drive. Final drive, 30-23. You had, 2 timeouts left. You had 2 minutes to go. Plenty of time to get 60 yards down the field, and he could not complete one pass. He could not complete one pass. He could not drive the Cowboys to victory. Yes, Tolbert did miss the ball that hit him in the face mask. I get him that. But what about the other 3 bad throws? What about the other 3 plays that you simply just freaking sucked on? Guys, I have been an advocate for Dak Prescott for a long time. I thought Dak Prescott was a really good quarterback, and I still think he's a decent quarterback. He is no longer top 5, though. He is no longer a top 10. Hell, he may not even be top 15 at this particular point. If I'm going to make a list right now, I might put Trevor Lawrence over Dak Prescott. That is how bad Dak Prescott is playing right now. But I went back and I started watching film. I started watching film before he broke his leg. That gruesome injury, right? Dislocated his ankle and broke it, whatever. He was a mobile quarterback then. Dak Prescott had the ability to stretch plays. Dak Prescott had the ability to scramble when the pass wasn't there. Now, for whatever reason, he does not have that ability or the will to do so, right? There were times last night when he could have scampered for 10, 15, 20 yards. Everybody's downfield, and he rolls the pocket and he sits there, and he throws an interception. When you could have scampered for 10, 15 yards, got yourself a first down, or even if it's 5 yards, live on to play the next game or like the next down, and he doesn't do that. So ever since that broken leg, Dak Prescott has not been the quarterback that I grew to love. The quarterback that was a top 5 quarterback. He is not there anymore. Now, he has had flashes of greatness. Everybody in the NFL has flashes of greatness. It's all about stringing it together. But he's had more flashes of being a below average quarterback than greatness. At this point, you cannot point to coaching. You cannot point to bad play calling. You cannot throw. He is just not reading well. He's making bad throws, and he's scared to scramble. I am absolutely done defending Dak Prescott too. He is no longer a top 5 quarterback. Like I said, he's not even top 15. He's playing bad football, making bad reads, and is making me sick. I cannot defend anything Dallas Cowboys now. No Dak Prescott. Nope. No Mike McCarthy. Nope. No Mike. I can't defend nothing about the Dallas Cowboys. Guys, you've sat here. You've heard me rant and rave about Dak Prescott, about how good I think he is, and he had the potential to be, and he was a top 5 quarterback, but not anymore. So, 2-5, you're saying Dak has to go. Dak's not going anywhere. Dak signed that deal. Why did he sign it? I don't really know, to be honest. Dak would have probably got a lot of dollar bills, y'all, if he would have hit free agency. Because for some reason, Dak is going to be a wanted man still. Many teams out there would use the services of Dak Prescott. Las Vegas Raiders, New York Jets, the Giants, right? Hell, the Miami Dolphins. The list goes on. The Browns. Dak Prescott would be a wanted man, and he's not going anywhere. He's the future of the Dallas Cowboys for the next 4 or 5 years, and it is what it is. Dak is no longer great. Dak has hit the Aaron Rodgers wall and fell off the edge. That is just the way it is. Laura says Mike Zimmer is the part of the problem. She says, I love my guy when he was with Minnesota, but when his wife passed and eyesight went bad, he went downhill. I didn't know Mike Zimmer's wife passed away. So, that does not defend anything that I'm going to say about Mike Zimmer coming up. But, I definitely understand. Like the same thing with Ron Rivera, right? When his wife died a couple years ago when he was the head coach of the football team, like at the time. It definitely sucks. It definitely a hole in your heart. Like, I get it. I couldn't imagine being without my best friend, right? She lets me do this every day. She gets mad about it, but she lets me do it because she knows I enjoy it. I definitely couldn't imagine it. Drew says Dak is overrated, but he's not a bad quarterback. Jerry Jones needs to get his fingers out of his pot and let Jerry Jones needs to get his fingers out of the pot and let coaches do their jobs. Let the team be a team. Drew, you are exactly spot on. You are exactly spot on because, like I said, General Manager Jerry Jones should have been fired a long time ago. Owner Jerry Jones is trying to be General Manager Jerry Jones, and it's getting the intertwined, and it's making for a bad issue. So if you say Dak is overrated, but he's not a bad quarterback, wouldn't that mean overhyped? I would say Dak Prescott was more overhyped than overrated, right? And maybe, just maybe, Dak Prescott could catapult into a top 5 quarterback again if a change of scenery were to happen. If you were to go to a different team like the Jets or the Giants or the Dolphins and put the Dallas Cowboys in your rear view, fresh change of scenery, some new coaches, a new ownership, a new general manager, maybe that's all he needs. So overrated is a tough term because I feel that everybody in the NFL has that potential. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. It's all about being overhyped, right? Trevor Lawrence was overhyped. Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns was overhyped. Not overrated, but overhyped, right? Look what he did. Look what he did, this, and this. But now they're not living up to it, right? They're not living up to it. Sean says the Jags. What about the Jags? Oh, a bad franchise? Yeah. Probably right. Edwin says, go Bills. Go Bills. And John says, don't want him in Vegas either, as in Dak Prescott. John, weren't you the one saying that Dak Prescott to the Las Vegas Raiders on on a trade like a while ago? And now you're all saying we don't want Dak. Come on, man, slow it down. Sean says Dak was the problem last year, and he's still a problem. But now they have a bigger problem, especially in the trenches. It's just the defense in general. And last season, I didn't think Dak was the problem. Maybe that was my fandom of Dak kind of blinding me a little bit. But in those losses in the playoffs and toward the end of the season, Dak did have to throw the ball 50 times in a game because the defense did get down so early. The team got down so early. But I did go back and watch the Buffalo Bills game, right? And Dak Prescott definitely played bad in that game. I tried to defend him. In the Green Bay Packers game, he played bad. I tried to defend him. I'm like, hey, if the defense just would have stopped him, he wouldn't have had to throw the ball 50 plus times. But you know what? Dak had some very big, costly interceptions. And rewatching those interceptions, because I had a lot of time on my hands this morning, I was very, very upset, up for the most of the night. And I rewatched some of those plays. I'm like, damn. Receiver's route looks good. Dak just did not read the play right. Did not throw the ball good. It just Dak has been the problem. Sean, you are right. Guys, I am eating crow about Dak Prescott too. I am eating crow, and it certainly sucks. It's it sucks to admit that you were wrong about a team that you thought had so much promise. About a team, a player that you thought could go to the freaking moon, and here we are. We are here. And Edwin says Dak has been trash. He hasn't been trash. He's been decent, but overhyped for sure. Overhyped for sure. James Frank says Dak probably one of those quarterbacks that you could have needed a little transplant to a different team. I'm sure he made his mistakes, but the difference to him is blame as well. The defense is to blame as well. James, you are right. You are exactly right. Jim says you can't outpace Father Time. Nobody can. I woke up with a sore back today, and I was like, damn, welcome to being 37, right? Fuck. John says, finally getting some wood on the ball about Dallas. Number 68 is checking in. Derek says, no money with contract. No money not with that contract. Too much money. Clear that up a little bit, Derek. I'm not for sure what you're trying to say. Jay Jones says, golf for MVP. Probably right. But Dak Prescott is no longer great, guys. And when Dak Prescott is no longer great, when Dak Prescott is unable to carry the team, when Dak Prescott is unable to be the man, the myth, the legend that he is, and the defense is that bad, does that put Mike McCarthy on the hot seat? Does that make Mike McCarthy the next midseason coach to go? Right? So, guys, let me ask this question. Should Mike McCarthy for the Dallas Cowboys be fired today? And it's a simple answer. It's a yes or no, but it's a very complex situation. It is a very complex situation because I am a thinker. I sit here and I think and I ponder like, man, he definitely should be fired. He definitely should be fired. He has lost the locker room. Jerry Jones is belittling him every chance he is get. He's not standing up for himself or defending himself whatsoever. The team doesn't respect him. Definitely should go, right? But hear me out. Hear me out. The Dallas Cowboys, guys, they are a team right now. Season is over. Not going to make any noise in the NFC East. Not going to make any noise in the playoffs. And if they win a couple games, it just hurts their future moving forward. So, the simple answer is yes, he should be fired. But the complex answer is no, he shouldn't. And if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, you should be on my train as well. You should be on my train as well because think about it this way. Think about it this way. If Mike McCarthy were to get fired, you would probably promote Mike Zimmer, right? Or the special teams guys, Fossil, right? You would probably make some type of person within the next interim head coach. At that particular time, the team might get a little momentum, might string a couple wins together. Still don't have a shot at the playoffs. Still don't have a shot at a Super Bowl. But all that's doing is hurting your draft stock. Right now, I think you're sitting at 12th in the draft. Right now, if it were to start today, you win 2, 3, 4 more games to rest of the season. You're probably looking at 20, 22, 23. If you make the playoffs, you're looking at 25, 26, 27. That is not a good move there. That is not a good move at all. So you want to keep Mike McCarthy around. You want to keep this inner turmoil fighting around because you want your team to be bad. You want your team to be bad. You want to be so bad that you want to see Jerry Jones trade Dak Prescott. You want to see Jerry Jones trade a player like Micah Parsons. You want to see Jerry Jones trade your Tolbert. You want to see Jerry Jones officially go all in. Because at this point, the Dallas Cowboys, as currently constructed, they're done. They are finished. But look forward to next year. Look forward to next year. Continue to be bad for the rest of the season. Nail this offseason. Go out and get some free agents and pieces that you don't be afraid to spend some freaking money. Trade Dak Prescott. Hell, if push comes to shove, get CeeDee Lamb out of there too. There would be teams out there that would probably give you a first-round pick for CeeDee Lamb right now. There are. I mean, we've seen Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper go for third-round picks, but they're a little bit long in the tooth. CeeDee Lamb's still young. You get him out, first-round pick. Trade Dak, second-round pick. Build around potentially Micah Parsons, even though I don't like Micah Parsons right now. Build around him. Do not fire Mike McCarthy if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, you are not saying fire Mike McCarthy. You are saying keep him around. Keep him around because think about the future. Play chess, not checkers. So guys, let me ask you this question. Should they fire Mike McCarthy today or next week or the week after that or let it play out? Let it play out and build for the future. Build for the future. Derek says Dak's contract with a lot of guaranteed money. More risk than reward. Could be. Laura says, yeah, his time is done. Get him out of town. Fire him yesterday. He shouldn't even got on the plane to come back to Dallas. Fire him. Find your own way home, brud. John says, and that monster Dak and CeeDee they have stacked in other areas. You get Dak and CeeDee Lamb out, You could build a whole brand new team with just those first 2 first-round picks that you're going to get from them. Laura says Zimmer wouldn't be the best choice, though, either. And that's kind of the point that I'm getting, is that if you were to fire Mike McCarthy, there's a reason why Mike Zimmer was brought in. Not because of his defensive experts, but there's a reason why Mike Zimmer was brought in. Another yes man for Jerry Jones to manipulate, right? John Fossil, right? The special teams guy. If one of those guys get promoted to head coach, intern head coach, they win. Let's say they pull an Antonio Pierce. I saw somebody say McCarthy versus Pierce. Let's say they pull a Antonio Pierce from last season, winning 4 of their last 5. Get that head coaching title. What does that do? All that does is prolong the inedible. It prolongs what you've been doing the last 30 years, and that's being a shit show. This offseason needs to be a complete house cleaning. Every coach, every staffer, every ball boy, every water girl has to go. Get the complete old culture out, hire a general manager, and let the general manager do his thing. Give him 5 years, give him 6 years, get his people in there. Slow it down. Jay Gillian says he need to be fired, but Jerry Jones is the problem. He's stuck in football from 20, 30 years ago. Exactly. Teams are built different these days, and the game has evolved. And he has not evolved with it. It's way past time for him to let someone younger take over the reins. Exactly. Hire that general manager. Derek thinks they are drafting a quarterback. I would say that if Dak Prescott did not sign his deal, but I think Dak Prescott is the future in Dallas. It is what it is. James Frank says the Cowboys got same issues as my Browns. They're in contract hell. They spent more money on the players that they had and they got worse. That's exactly what it is. Derek says last year for coaching, I don't think he was extended. He has not been extended yet. He is on the last year of his contract. Yes. So I guess technically it wouldn't be fired, right? It'd just be like, hey, we're not renewing your contract at the end of the season. See ya. Right? And Laura says it is time for Dallas to restart. Yeah, it 100% is. And I was thinking, I'm thinking here, like, who would be a good coach for the Dallas Cowboys? Totally spitballing here. But Ben Johnson obviously would be a great candidate, right? But somebody like Eric Bieniemy. I think Eric Bieniemy got a bad rap in his time in Washington, and I think he needs to get a shot as another offensive coordinator or a head coaching job. But do not fire Mike McCarthy. JDT93 says Mike Zimmer definitely is not the answer. No, he is not. He is not. What's up, good? Y'all, Cowboys suck. They do suck. John, welcome to the show now. And Drew says Mike Vrabel would be a good coach. And this is the problem, is there's probably a lot of great candidates out there for the Dallas Cowboys position. Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, McAdoo, right? There are a lot of good candidates that would be great for the Dallas Cowboys team as they're built right now. But is Jerry Jones willing to take somebody that thinks for himself? Is Jerry Jones willing to take a Mike Vrabel that's going to say, fuck you? Is Jerry Jones willing to hire somebody like a Ben Johnson that's going to say, fuck you, right? I mean, because like if Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel or McAdoo or anybody besides the yes man of Mike McCarthy would have heard those comments, what Jerry Jones said, like you're drawing up bad plays, your offense sucks, yada, yada, yada. They would have been like, you know what? Fuck you, right? Mike McCarthy's like, well, I don't think we're drawing bad plays. No, man, drop the F-bomb, stick it in his nose, like, you got a problem with me, fire me, or shut the hell up. And Vrabel would do that, I think. Ben Johnson would do that. McAdoo would do that, right? Hell, I would say Robert Saleh, but Robert Saleh was a yes man to Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know if he would do that, but they need something. They need something. Jay says, Ben Johnson isn't going anywhere to a shit show that he does not go anywhere. Have you watched the Lions games? Ben Johnson is having way too much fun to leave. You know, Jay, I would agree with you on that because Eric Bieniemy was the same way. Eric Bieniemy was having a great time in Kansas City. He was having a great time. They were winning a lot of football games, winning Super Bowls. The offense was doing crazy. But there's always an itch to grow. There's always that itch to be just a little bit better, right? There's always that itch that we can do this, this, and this. And that's why Eric Bieniemy went to Washington and ultimately got fired and ultimately now is an offensive coordinator at USC. As a past coordinator myself, I was happy being a defensive coordinator. I was happy winning a lot of football games. I was happy winning sectional championships, going to regionals each and every year. But I had that itch. Man, what would it like to be a head coach? I see some flaws. I don't like what he does here. But what if I could do that? It took me a while to figure it out, but I really like being a defensive coordinator. I'm just saying. But sometimes you gotta be a head coach to figure that out. Bro Average said Chiefs are winning this year. They are winning this year. They are 7-0. Let's go. Gruden could always ruin your draft. Listen, Derek, you are a Las Vegas Raiders fan, and I am still accepting apologies. But with that being said, John Gruden was a pretty good coach. He was turning things around in Vegas. And the NFL did not like that. The NFL was like, you know what? Las Vegas, you're not going to be good on our watch. No way, no how. John Gruden, you texted, what's his face a little while ago, right? Let me dig through those emails. Why is John Gruden the only one that got in trouble for it? Jay Jillian says, Lions got that Ford money, bro. Ben Johnson will stay to compensate him for his time. I work for Ford, Jay, and the Ford money is drying up. I'm just going to say that. Ford money is drying up. But, guys, we've talked enough about the Dallas Cowboys. We talked nearly an hour for the Dallas Cowboys. And my man Ant is itching right now to hear about this Baltimore Ravens. My man Ant texted me and says, man, why you got to keep dogging the Baltimore Ravens? And I told you, like I told Ant, I'm going to tell y'all, the Baltimore Ravens are just not that good. The Baltimore Ravens are just not that good, and I try to tell you that. When I put them, fifth in my power rankings, you guys are all, no, they're the best team in the NFL. I hate to say I told you so. But yet, Buck is here again, following a weak NFL weekend, and saying, I told you so. At some point, you're all going to start to listen here. But the Baltimore Ravens played the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. James, stand up, please. The Baltimore Ravens was riding a 5-game winning streak. They had wins over the Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Washington Commanders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They was playing some great football. People said they was the best team in the NFL. But then insert week number 8. Insert Cleveland Browns. Insert Jameis Winston. Insert a team that the Baltimore Ravens forgot that they had to play. Insert a team in the Cleveland Browns that the Baltimore Ravens forgot they had to coach against. Insert a team like the Cleveland Browns. They're like, oh, it's just the Browns. We don't care. But the Ravens ultimately dropped that game 29-24. Now, when we look at this game, the Baltimore Ravens had many chances to win this game. Hell, Hamilton dropped a game-winning interception in his hands. He caught it, he dropped it, he caught it, he dropped it, and he caught it again, and he dropped it again. 3 times he had the opportunity to make that interception. He dropped it. That really cost him. That really sucked. In the fourth quarter, the wide receivers had some big drops. Right in the old breadbasket, boom, hit the ground. Lamar Jackson. Yes, Lamar Jackson gets some blame too. Missed a wide open receiver in the end zone to seal the deal. Missed it. Excellent route. It was like a chair route. Boom, boom. Wide open. Defender fell. Flat out missed him. Flat out missed him. So the Cleveland Browns upset the Baltimore Ravens, guys. And many people want to point fingers. Many people want to point fingers and say, who lost the game? Who lost the game? Was it Lamar Jackson? Was it the defense? Was it this? Was it that? And I hate this break it to you guys. Me being a Lamar Jackson hater, Lamar Jackson played a pretty good game. Lamar Jackson went out and balled the way Lamar Jackson usually does. Missed a few throws, missed a wide open per person, but he does that every game. People are just wowed by his stats. But I'm not blaming Lamar Jackson. Hamilton, right? Had the opportunity to seal the game with the interception. Winston threw it right to him. Dropped it. But I'm not blaming Hamilton either. King Henry did his thing. Could have maybe ran a little bit harder or done this or whatever. Not blaming him. I'm not blaming the defense either. Even though the defense cannot keep anybody underneath 20 points, I'm not blaming them either. You know who is to blame for this loss to the Cleveland Browns? There's only one person to blame. And the finger has to be pointed, all four fingers, not just one, all four, given the old, you are the issue, and that is coaching. It is Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is the reason why the Baltimore Ravens lost this game. Let's flash back to the first quarter. They are driving. They are running the ball. They are doing some play action pass. They are basically doing whatever they want to this Cleveland Browns defense. They're slicing them up like butter. Let's just be honest. The crowd is starting to deflate. You can see the players starting to deflate. They are inside the red zone. What does Harbaugh call? What is what's the offensive coordinator's name? I can't think of it right now. What do they call? They call a 5-wide set in the red zone with no Derrick Henry on the field. Nearly threw an interception on that very same play. Luckily, Lamar Jackson threw the ball so bad that the defender's like, oh, that's me? Let me drop it. I'm scared of this. What is on this ball? Then I believe it was the same series, right? No, it was the next series. They are down there on the three-yard line. Down there on the three-yard line. The Browns defense stepped up. They were stepping up and they were shutting it down. They didn't gain 1 yard on 3 tries to gain 3 yards. 4th and goal rolls around. What did they do? They give the ball to Derrick Henry, but he gets stuffed. 1 yard loss. You take the points there, that's a whole new ball game. So, fans, people watching this live stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the good stuff. There's only one person to blame, and that is John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is the reason why the Baltimore Ravens lost this game. You can point to Hamilton, you can point to Lamar, you can point to this, and this, single aspects of a game. But John Harbaugh is the reason why they lost that game in the first quarter. You had the opportunity to legit take the crowd out of the game. When you have a 1-16, 1-5 team, and the crowd is cheering, and you're driving down the first play of the game, the opportunity to put a touchdown on the board or even points on the board the first series of the game, and you don't do it, the crowd's like, okay, we here, baby, we here. Look at us. You saw it. Winston's shoulders started to drop, chest out. Chubb's like, okay. Myles Garrett and the boys are like, okay, right? Thornhill in the secondary, like, okay, we here. Okay, we here. And that's when they lost the game. So, guys, who is to blame for the loss for the to the Cleveland Browns for the Baltimore Ravens? A Brown-sized loss is the title. Brown-sized loss. James Frank says the dogs are eating crow today. James, you were right. I believe it was Sunday morning. I put out a post saying that Zay Flowers was a game time decision. And many people are like, we don't need Zay Flowers to win this game. It's the Cleveland Browns. They're terrible. I was like, slow it down, baby. Slow it down. You got the Browns. You got a quarterback you don't have any film on. You got Winston that has become a pretty good leader, right? Don't be sleeping on people like, 55-0, 60-0. We're going to beat them by 40, easy, whatever. All those Ravens fans better be like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. James Frank says, but in all reality, Baltimore will be all right. They're still 5-3, and they have a lights-out offense. Their defense is sketchy as hell, though. Our defense showed up and even more banged up and won. Defense of the Ravens does suck. Held Derrick Henry to 73 yards. And honestly, he got like 40 of those yards on three carries, right? Derrick Henry was definitely shut down. Jim says Harbaugh is the reason. He's the reason why they lost. I gotta sneeze. Hang on. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. James Frank says, who is the only running back to rush more than 50 yards against the Ravens? Nicholas freaking Chubb. Laura says, coaching all around is to blame. Who's to blame? Coaching. Of course it's coaching. Harbaugh is one of the worst coaches in the NFL. I'm just going to say it. Derek says, did you hear the Kansas City Chiefs signed somebody today? Yeah, they signed the defensive tackle from the Patriots. Right before I was getting ready to push live, I got the alert on my phone, and bada bing, yeah, good thing for the Chiefs. But when we look at the Baltimore Ravens, guys, is this a good loss? Is this a good loss for the Baltimore Ravens? Because when we sit down and we think about it, what we just talked about, we talked about how great the Baltimore Ravens were. 5 games in a row. Wins over the Bengals, wins over the Bills, the Cowboys, right? The Commanders and the Bucks, right? Beating really, really good teams and winning in a dominating fashion. Many people were starting to get on this high horse. Best team in the NFL. Who was going to stop them? Super Bowl. Best duo ever. I believe Mark D that said it on the breakdown show that Lamar and King Henry had the chance to break like 5,500 yards this season. Something crazy. But guys, this is a loss that the Baltimore Ravens needed, honestly. This is a good loss. This is a good loss because you, the fans, were getting out of control. Us, the media, was getting out of control. The team was getting out of control. They were buying into their own hype. Now, with this loss, they can go back and they can recalculate. They can self-scout, right? They can finally say, you know what? Maybe our defense does need a little bit of fixing. Maybe our defense is the issue, right? If my memory serves me right off the top of the dome, like I normally do here on the Man Hour, guys, is I'm pretty sure the Ravens have not held an opponent to under 20 points yet this season. When a team that you are playing is consistently scoring 20 to 30 points week in and week out, and your offense has to put up 30 points to win a game, when an offense happens to struggle just a little bit, you're going to lose that game. They still scored 24 points. Most defenses would love 24 points to win. But the defense is terrible. Guys, this is a good loss for the Baltimore Ravens. This is a reality check time for the Baltimore Ravens. And how weird is it to say that the issue in Baltimore is their defense? Every year since Ray Lewis was with the Baltimore Ravens, ever since the Ravens were moved from Cleveland to Baltimore, right? We've been talking about how great the defense is, how awesome the defense is, how great they're at this, and this, right? And the simple fact of the matter is that the defense is one of the worst in the NFL. This is a good loss. This is a good eye-opening loss. I think Laura said it the best. This is a humbling loss for them. Time to understand that, hey, maybe we're not so good. Maybe, just maybe, we are just, yeah, our offense is great. Yeah, we're doing good things. Yes, we're doing this, and this, but you know what? Maybe it's time to fix the defense. Maybe it's time to figure out why our defense sucks. So, guys, in the comments below, let me know. Is there such thing as a good loss? And if there is this a good loss for the Baltimore Ravens? I think it's a great loss for them. I think Laura nailed it right here. It's a humbling loss. It is a humbling loss saying, hey, let's get back to the basics. Let's figure out why our defense sucks. And John says it's a character building game. And speaking of character, at the end of that game, I believe it was a Hail Mary play, right? Lamar Jackson rolled to the right, threw it, it dropped down to the turf. Browns win that game. Lamar Jackson slams his helmet down in frustration. That's some poor-ass character right there, bud. Yeah, buds. That's some poor-ass character in my best Wisconsin voice, buds. Lamar Jackson needs to grow his character real quick. This is the third or fourth time I've seen him throw his helmet like that. And Harbaugh, you need to reel in your boy real quick. James Frank says it only really hurts because it's a division loss. And we know how good the Steelers are. We get to see the Steelers tonight and how potentially they good or how great they can be. So it does hurt. But maybe, James, let me be devil's advocate for the Baltimore Ravens here. Let me kind of be that guy, right? Maybe, just maybe, the Baltimore Ravens might have more postseason success if they're not on the road or at home. Maybe, just maybe, the Ravens might have a better opportunity if the pressure to win the playoff games at home were on the road. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe the Steelers win the AFC North and the Ravens become the 5th seed, right? And they got to go to a team, let's throw it out there, Houston Texans. They go down to Houston and they got to play Houston in the wild card game. Not worried about home field advantage because that shit's gone. You're not ever going to play a home playoff game. So they're playing the Houston Texans on the road. Lose that game. Or they win that game. Then they get to go play. They would be a 5th seed. Let's say, in theory, the Buffalo Bills win. Now you get to go to New York and not have to worry about your home crowd, not worry about all the hype, not have to worry about all being the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed, whatever. Go out there and they beat the Buffalo Bills. Now you got a little bit of momentum. You got a little bit of momentum going into the number 1 seed in the Kansas City Chiefs. That momentum. You have 2 wins versus the Chiefs, one win. You have no pressure. The Kansas City Chiefs have all the pressure. 3-peat. Oh, maybe, just maybe, this could be a blessing in disguise. I didn't even think about that. That just came in my head. Maybe, just maybe, this is exactly what they needed. This is what they needed to make it to the Super Bowl. Is a loss like this, a division loss, to knock them down a notch, to make their defense get better, and not win the division, be a 5th seed or a 6th seed, whatever it could be. Maybe. Laura says, I used humbling loss with the Vikings a lot. Ouch. Derek says, Winston looked like a pro that last throw. Was it the last throw to Hamilton or the last throw to win the game? Laura says, your northern accent was way off, buds. Yeah, it was. Which is weird because I'm in Michigan all the time with their N's and stuff like that. I make fun of my aunts and uncles all the time, but whatever. James says, that could be a valid point. James, thank you for finally start listening. Understand, I know what I'm talking about, baby. John says, I could see them as a wild card. And honestly, John, that would probably be the best case scenario for them, is not to get that first round bye, or to get a home game, right? Or 2 home games. The best case scenario for the Ravens this season might be a wild card, might be roads in the playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl. Because, yes, they are a powerful running team, but they're also putting up a lot of points, and we know how the weather gets in Baltimore in cold weather, right? It gets nasty in there. So go down to Houston in a dome. Go to Kansas City where it could be cold, but it's not going to be snowing or whatever. I don't know. Just it is. James says, I cannot wait for that November 21st game. He's talking about Tilly Tutty. First of all, what is the November 21st game? Is that when you play the Steelers? I don't know. It is. But is it a good loss? But to continue our Ravens talk, in those posts below, Lions over Chiefs in Super Bowl. Not so fast, my man. We'll be talking about the Lions here in about 10 minutes. But in that loss, in the post that I put, many people are saying Harbaugh's to blame. Harbum, right? I think even John said it right here. Like Harbum. So we got to ask the question. After the loss to the Cleveland Browns, and we're pointing the blaming at coaching, a.k.a. Harbaugh, is John Harbaugh officially on the hot seat to be fired? Is he officially maybe trying to change in Baltimore? When we look at John Harbaugh, guys, his coaching career, 15 years with the Baltimore Ravens, it has been. He's 161 and 101 in his coaching career. He is 12-10 in the playoffs. He has led the Ravens to 5 AFC North titles. He has led them to 11 playoffs berths. He has a Super Bowl victory back in 2012. In those 15 seasons, he has only had 2 losing seasons. One of which was 2021, where he went 8-9 when Lamar Jackson missed the final, 9 games of the season with that sprained ankle. Air quotes there. And then back in 2015 when they went 5-11. But if we flash back to that 2015 team, a lot of people had them winning the Super Bowl that particular year. But it was a very injury-riddled season. Joe Flacco went down with the season-ending injury. Steve Smith Jr. or Sr., he went down. Terrell Suggs, he went down. All suffered those season-ending injuries. So without those injuries, he could be like Mike Tomlin and never have a losing season in the NFL. But with this loss to the Browns, coaching mistakes, right? Bad play calling. With him and Lamar Jackson not making it to the Super Bowl despite having great regular seasons. Despite having a 2-time league MVP as your quarterback. Not making it to the Super Bowl. Is the seat getting warm in Baltimore? Though, should the Ravens move on from John Harbaugh if he does not go to the Super Bowl this season? And truth be told, it is time to slow it down, baby. It is time to slow it down. Guys, there are many teams that do really, really well in the regular season. John Harbaugh has a Super Bowl win. John Harbaugh is 12-10 in the playoffs. John Harbaugh does have 5 titles, 11 playoff berths. He's doing work in Baltimore. It is not John Harbaugh's fault that Lamar Jackson shits the bed in the playoffs. It is not John Harbaugh's fault that injuries happen. It is not John Harbaugh's fault that the fact that sometimes he gets outcoached or he overcoaches himself, something like that. Either way, John Harbaugh's on a hot seat, guys. So all you fans that are saying, fire him, stop it. Stop it. He's not getting fired. He's not getting fired. He's not getting fired. James says no. John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Just look what he's done to do with that running back at quarterback. Facts. James Frank says the fans can be mad at him that they won't get rid of him. Hard blew it. They won't fire him. He's safe. Safe. Derek says he's only offensive-minded or defense. He's definitely a defensive-minded coach, I think. I'm not for sure. Sean says Steve McNair kicked ass in Baltimore. Yeah, because he was sleeping around. But he's not on the hot seat. He's not on the hot seat. But guys, it has been a wild ride. We've talked about the Dallas Cowboys. We've talked about the Baltimore Ravens. But it is time to gather around the rest of the NFL. It is time to gather around the NFL, and each and every Monday here we do a slow segment called Way or No Way. It is very, very simple. We go throughout to see what people are saying on the old interwebs, and I give you what they're saying, and we determine if it's a way, yeah, I agree, or if it's a no way, no, we disagree. We do not agree with that one way or the other. So guys, way or no way here on this beautiful Monday edition of Man Hour NFL Talk. We are live, guys, now for 2 hours, starting at 1:30 p.m. East Coast time, going to 3:30 p.m. East Coast time every Monday through Friday. So with that being said, guys, let's get into the first way or no way of the day. And we got to start with a game that was very, very exciting. A game that came down to the final play of the game. The game that come down to a 68-yard Hail Mary pass from Jaden Daniels into the end zone to get the Washington Commanders win over the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Now, the Chicago Bears lost to the Commanders on Sunday on the last-second Hail Mary pass. We all seen it. I saw it live for my first Hail Mary ever, but the Chicago Bears did lose that game. Not only did they lose that game, they pretty much got outplayed that whole entire game. So we got to ask the question, way or no way are the Chicago Bears playoff chances over? Over. Done. No playoff chances for the Chicago Bears. Now, when we look at the Chicago Bears, guys, in this game, they were outplayed 90% of the game. The only reason why they had the opportunity to win the game is because of DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift come out and balled out, but they ultimately lost, dropping them to 4-3 on the season and 4th in the NFC North. All 3 of their losses came on the road. The Bears are now 0-3 on the road this season. And let's just be honest, coaching has been a big issue in Chicago for the last 3 years minimum. Hell, we can look at the last 10 years. Coaching has been an issue in Chicago. But I want to dive into this game in particular. Play number 1 that I have an issue with, Matt Eberflus, or an offensive coordinator, Wayne Gretzky, or whatever his name is. Luke Getzey, right? Giving it to the lineman on the 2-yard line. First things first, I like having a lineman in the backfield. It is cool. But you do not give him the ball on the 2-yard line, in which he fumbled it. He fumbled it, and they lost. The Bears came out with 0 points in that drive. Drove down to the 3-yard line late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter. I can't remember exactly when it was. Fumbled it, bada bing, bada boom. No score. On the final drive of the game, the Hail Mary drive. The Bears are playing prevent defense. Commanders had 6 seconds left on the clock. Nobody there to defend a pass whatsoever within 50 yards. What did the Commanders do? They threw a 15-yard out route that took 3 seconds off of the clock. The Hail Mary pass went from a 85-yard pass to a 60-yard pass. Then the very next play, Jaden Daniels had over 13 seconds to throw the damn ball. What? How do you not have any pass rush? You just spy Jaden Daniels. What are you going to do? Run for a 60-yard touchdown? Get out of here. Coaching has been the biggest issue for the Chicago Bears all season long. The offense has not been great, but they kept getting better. They kept improving week after week after week. During those 3-game winning streak that they had over the Rams, Panthers, and Jaguars, they were averaging 30-plus points in those games. Doing well. Looking pretty good. Despite horrible play calling and horrible coaching. DeAndre Swift carried this team 100% the whole game. And if you look at the Bears' schedule moving forward, it is not easy. They play the Vikings, they play the 49ers, they play the Packers, they play the Lions, and they play the Seahawks. In the NFC, you're probably going to need 9 to 10 wins to get into a wild card. So, guys, way or no way, are the playoff chances for the Chicago Bears over? Yes. Yes, this is 100% way. How can you even fathom, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, that you're going to make the playoffs right now? You are 4-3. There are 10 weeks left in the NFL season, and you play the Packers, Lions, and Vikings, all losses. Let's just be honest. The 49ers getting better. Seahawks, not an easy win at all. The Bears, they have all the pieces in place to be a really good team. The defense is shut down. The defense is pretty good. I like the defense. Offense has all the pieces in order. Rome, DJ Moore, Swift, offensive line getting better each and every week. But this is the worst coached NFL team ever. More poorly coached than the Dallas Cowboys, more poorly coached than the Jets, more poorly coached than the Panthers. This coaching staff in Chicago is terrible. Matt Eberflus should have been fired last season, but for some reason, ownership and like Ryan Poles gave him a pass. Sunday was a season-defining loss for the Chicago Bears. Sunday, the Chicago Bears may have pissed away their whole season. The Bears may not have won a game, or may not win a game for the rest of the season because of how they lost to the Minnesota or to Washington Commanders. Their season is over. Playoff chances definitely out the window, but their season 100% over. So, guys, way or no way are the playoff chances for the Chicago Bears over? Laura says, I'm okay with the Bears losing. She is okay because the Vikings are not in last place. True. John says, wait. Playoff chances out the window. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. James Frank says, wait. They won't make it this year. Next year, maybe. The division is fire, though. I think 3 of the 4 teams from the NFC North make the playoffs. The Bears are out. Probably correct. Laura Johnson says, way, and way again. James Chambers says, no, that fumble is 100% on Caleb. He did not stick the ball in there. So, James, he did not stick the ball in the lineman's gut. However, when you stick a lineman in there that has never ran the ball before, that has probably never taken a practice handoff from Caleb Williams ever, why do you do that? Why do you do that? And John says they only rushed 4. Well, actually, John, they only rushed 3. They rushed the 2 defensive ends and the nose, and then the linebacker, TJ Edwards, is kind of just sitting there patty caking. Actually, I don't think he even made contact with anybody. He kind of just stood there and spied Jaden. So they only rushed 3. 13 seconds. Laura says they will win over the Vikings. Shut up, Laura. You are lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. Derek's saying, I was saying it at the beginning of the season. What chance was get the first pick again in the NFL draft? So, Derek, to be honest, the Bears have not been that bad the last 3 seasons, right? They got their first overall pick 2 years ago from the Carolina Panthers. They traded that away. Since then, they've been decent, and their overall picks have been because the Panthers have been so bad. John says Raiders got their sloppy seconds in the OC from Chicago. About that. So, guys, playoff chances for the Chicago Bears. Where, no way, are they done? Are they over with? I say yes. I say the Chicago Bears are not a playoff team right now. Now, speaking of playoff teams, not playoff teams. Teams that I'm tired of talking about. Teams that have no right to be on primetime TV 6 of their first 8 weeks of the NFL teams. A team that has absolutely changed the way we look at NFL teams and Aaron Rodgers in general, and that is the mighty New York Football Jets. Guys, the Jets drop another game to the mighty, mighty New England Patriots, making them go 2-6 on the season with a 5-game losing streak. So, guys, way or no way, can we finally put a fork in the New York Jets? Can we finally stop talking about them as a playoff team? Can we finally stop talking about them as a Super Bowl team? Can we finally stop putting any type of resemblance of the team of the New York Football Jets? Way or no way? Before we answer that question, we have to give a little bit of backstory about the New York Jets. The last 3 weeks have been awesome for the New York Jets. They've been on the news on ESPN a lot, mainly because they fired their head coach and Robert Saleh. They're thinking, hey, let's fire Robert Saleh. Let's shake things up a little bit. Our offense is not doing very well. Our defense is not doing very well. Let's fire him. What they do? They lost the following week, giving him a third straight loss on the season. The following week, the worst kept secret in the NFL, Davante Adams wants to go to New York Jets and play with his friend Aaron Rodgers. That trade finally happened. They go into Pittsburgh. I believe it was a Monday Night Football game. Everybody, Davante Adams is going to ball out. The Jets are going to destroy the Steelers and whatever. They lost. 4 straight loss. This week, Hassan Reddick's back. The defense is going to be amazing. We're going to ball out. They lost to the New England Patriots. Guys, it is time to face that Aaron Rodgers is just bad. Since his injury, since being off for a year, since turning the age of 40 or however old he is, Aaron Rodgers has been bad. I don't know if he's scared to get hit, which he's getting hit a lot. I don't know if he doesn't just have that power in his foot yet to really push off and throw the ball, or if he just tired of being in New York. Aaron Rodgers just is that bad man and just bad. He's just bad. Coaching has been very bad as well. From Robert Saleh to whoever the intern coach is now, coaching across the board is just bad. Think about this, how bad they are. In 8 minutes yesterday, in the first quarter, 8 minutes into the game, they used all 3 of their timeouts in the first quarter. Guys, way or no way can we finally stick a fork in the Jets? The answer to that question is yes. Yes way. We can finally kill off the Jets hype. We can finally say the Jets are not worth a damn. We can finally say stop supporting the New York Football Jets because they're terrible. They made all these moves just to go 7-10 yet again. For some reason, I had a glimmer of hope for the New York Jets. I don't know if it's because of my fandom for Aaron Rodgers or I thought the defense was good and all they needed was to get an easy win versus the Pats, and maybe they could start to get right, and the snowball effect does actually start to happen. But they're not getting any better. Since Robert Saleh has been fired, they've been getting worse and worse. This defense was supposed to be great. Yeah, in the brawl. They're not great. Aaron Rodgers has hit the wall. The team has hit the wall. The team is playing for individual stats like at this point. And they still have a fan base hanging on for what? 7 wins? 6 wins? 5 wins? It is definitely time to stick a fork in them and blow the whole thing up. It is time to trade whatever assets you have right now. Hassan Reddick, get him out of town. He's played one game. See what you can get out of him, right? Aaron Rodgers, probably not coming back next season. See what you can get out of him. 5th round pick, something. 6th round pick, I don't care, something. Davante Adams, probably get him out of town as well. Maybe you can try to get back that 3rd round pick. The Jets need to blow the whole thing up. They need to stick a fork in them. It is time to move on. It is time to move on. Jets fans, stop saying we're good. Stop saying that you're good. Stop saying that you're going to win the East. Stop saying that you're going to make the playoffs. Let's worry about getting 5 wins first. Let's worry about getting 5 wins, and maybe, just maybe, you'll do better. So, guys, where no way is it time to put a fork in the New York Jets? Laura says, Jets suck, and so does Rodgers. John says, the Jets suck. James Frank, Jets and their fans have less hope than my squad. AKA, the Jets suck, says James. John says, butter them up. They are toast. Laura says, put a fork in them. They're done. James says, put them in the trash. And James Jones says, 7 wins? 7? The only reason why I said that, James, is because the Jets have had like 3 years of 7-10. That is all I'm saying. And James says, I said that in a heavy New Jersey accent. Put them in a trash. We'll have Huffy on Tuesday night, guys, when we do our power ranking show, and I'll get the call keys, like I'll get that Boston, New Jersey accent out of him, right? John says, do the Jets beat the Cowboys? If they were to play head-to-head, give me the Dallas Cowboys right now. The Jets are just in a bad way. Luckily for them, they don't play this season, but if they were to play, give me the Cowboys, I guess. Derek says, stick a fork in them. Throw them in the trash and they smell. I tried to do a Boston accent. That didn't work. John says, they are average. I have them in fantasy. Even in fantasy, they suck. James says, put them in the closet. I don't want that face looking at me when I'm rolling my dice. Jesus. Stick a fork in them. They're done. Get them out of here. So Jets, season of change. Aaron Rodgers traded. Devontae Adams trade. Hassan Reddick trade. Garrett Wilson, build around him in the future. So I say no way. Now let's talk about those Super Bowl team. Let's talk about the team that everybody is riding right now. A team that says they are the best team in the NFL. A team that everybody's saying is Super Bowl or bust right now, and that is the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions, once again, guys, showed out with a huge win over the Tennessee Titans. Not only was it big, it was a dominating win, 52-14. This win improved them to 6-1 on the season with a 5-game winning streak. Now, I know. People are saying Super Bowl, best team. But way or no way, guys, are the Detroit Lions truly the Super Bowl favorites in the NFC? Let that marinate. Are they truly the Super Bowl favorites? First off, let's flash back to last season when they lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. As soon as that game ended, people were out there saying the Lions are going to Super Bowl next year. This year was a fluke. We're going to the Super Bowl. Flash forward a couple months, the draft, into the offseason, into preseason, that noise got a lot louder. We're winning the North. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're doing this, and this. And now, being 6-1 is even louder. I have a Detroit Lions fan right across the street here. The house is shaking every time I see him wake up. Super Bowl. They have a great running back duo. I believe Jay sent me a little text saying they are referring to them as Sonic and Knuckles. They are arguably one of the best 1-2 punches in the NFL in the backfield, hands down. They are good. There's actually a stat out there. Every time Sonic and Knuckles scores for the Detroit Lions in the same game, they are 7-0. Jared Goff is playing at an elite MVP level. Jared Goff has been nearly perfect the last 4 or 5 weeks. Yes, even better than Lamar Jackson. Jared Goff is playing top-notch, the best quarterback in the NFL. And they have a huge matchup versus the Green Bay Packers this weekend. They do play the Buffalo Bills later in this season as well. It's the 49ers and Vikings. And outside of those games, they have very winnable, easy games moving forward. Guys, the Lions are arguably a very, very good team, if not one of the best teams in the NFL right now. So way or no way are they the Super Bowl favorites? Is this a Super Bowl season for the Detroit Lions? And I have to say no way. I have to say no way. Yes, they are winning games right now. Yes, they will win a lot of games for the rest of the regular seasons. Yes, they will put up some amazing stats. Yes, they will be deemed one of the best teams in the NFL week after week after week. But let's slow it down, baby. Let's not get crazy. In this 5-game winning streak, they beat an average Arizona Cardinals team. Below average. Let's just be honest. They beat a bad Dallas Cowboys team. They beat a Seahawks team that had no starters on the defense whatsoever. They're not horrible, but they're just not very healthy. They did beat a good Minnesota Vikings team. They actually dominated that game. I will give you that one. But then they beat a Tennessee Titans team that, at this point, F them. Right? But let's not forget what happened versus the Dallas Cowboys a few weeks ago. Let's not forget what happened when Aiden Hutchinson went down for the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they lost a pass rusher, but they lost a whole 50% of their pass rush. They lost 50% of their pass rush versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they have not addressed that issue as of yet, trying to fix that. And they haven't had a need to fix it yet because winning cures all, right? When you beat a team like the Tennessee Titans 52-14, our pass rush isn't that bad. When you beat the Dallas Cowboys the way they beat them, our pass rush isn't that bad. Yes, Aiden O'Connell did play that game. Let's slow it down. When we saw Aiden Hutchinson, I said like O'Connell, I meant Hutchinson. When Aiden Hutchinson went down, we sat here on the show saying that they're no longer a Super Bowl caliber team because of the pass rush. And they have not addressed that yet. They will be a very winning team for the rest of the season. Do not get that twisted. They have a few hard games left in the Vikings and the Packers and the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. But beyond that, all pretty much cakewalks. Let's just be honest. So it has no time to really expose the bad pass rush that they have. It has no time to really expose when that bad pass rush, like when the pass rush doesn't happen, how bad the secondary can look. And when you get into the playoffs, you will play teams that like to pass the ball, that you will need a pass rush against. The Eagles, the Commanders, the Bucks, the Packers. The truth of the matter is, guys, November 5th is next week. The trade deadline is next Tuesday. The Lions have no indications to me that they're going to go out and get a pass rusher. Chiefs are making moves. Other teams are making moves. The Lions are staying stagnant. They are not on the phone with the Jets or the Browns or the Cowboys. They are not. And this is why they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. This is why they're not going to win the Super Bowl. So guys, way or no way, are the Detroit Lions a Super Bowl team? James Frank says the Lions are for real. Doubters got to stop. Much respect for the Detroit Lions. They are James, they are a good team. They are a good team, and they match up very, very well versus teams for the rest of the season. But when they play a pass-happy team like the Eagles, like the Packers, like the Bucks, can that pass rush be any type of resemblant of what they once had? And that's ultimately going to come back and bite them in the ass. Laura says, I have a love-hate relationship with the Lions, but this is a way. Laura, as a Vikings fan, is saying, yes, way. The Lions are a Super Bowl team. And John says, Lions, baby! Let's go! Casey says, way. John says the special teams made an impact. Yes. I did not watch the Lions game live. I watched it again last night. And when I posted the score 52-14, I'm like, oh, Jared Goff had a great game, right? Looked at my fantasy score. He had like 20 points. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Fantasy. Or special teams. Yep. And John says, way. James Frank says they're special in all types of... They are special in special teams. Fire. Defense is fire. Offense is fire. This is a way. They're a Super Bowl team. Never Ending Adventures Beyond says, what kind of cheese are you packing in the fridge, brother? I got a cheese head right there. I believe it's cheddar cheese. I don't know. I'm more of American cheese myself, guy. Private Jose B32 says, hi from UK. Do you know Ice Willow come daily? Nope. John says, I wonder the total of combined yards for Detroit. John says, your ass is still chapped from beating them 2 times Super Bowl. My ass is not chapped for losing the Detroit Lions last season. Typical Raiders fan living in the past. So, guys, way or no way are the Detroit Lions the Super Bowl favorites in the AFC? I'm saying no way. I am saying no way on this particular thing. Now, guys, this will be the last way or no way of the day. This is my first 2-hour show in a very, very long time. This is my first solo 2-hour show. So if you guys have enjoyed it, let me know. Let me know what we can improve on, what you liked, what you did not like. I want to make sure this is the best experience for you guys listening. And those people that have been here for the full 2 hours, I definitely appreciate it, guys, and definitely much love to you guys. But let's end today's show talking about the Indianapolis Colts. Let's talk about how the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, Anthony Richardson, tapped himself out, saying that he was tired. He was tired. So if you guys have not heard this yet, late in the third quarter, let me take back. Picture this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. You are the starting quarterback of an NFL team. You are down by 10 points. You are driving late in the third quarter. You make a hell of a scramble. You scramble to your left. There's a brick wall there. You kind of dribble down your pants a little bit and you roll out and you run to the right and you gain about 15 yards on that particular play. You stand up and you tap your head. You tap your head because you're tired. Because you're tired. You are tired and you need a break. So, guys, way or no way should the Indianapolis Colts bench Anthony Richardson for the rest of the season after this pulling of the stunt, saying that he's tired, right? So, Anthony Richardson, guys, has had a questionable start to his NFL career. Let's flash back to 2023, rookie year. He goes down week 3 with a season-ending shoulder issue. Insert Gardner Minshew. The Colts missed the playoffs because of a drop pass by Trey Sherman. This year, so far this season, he has over 800 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Sunday versus the Houston Texans, he went 10 for 32 for 132 yards. He did have 1 touchdown to 1 interception. Since week 2, Anthony Richardson has not thrown over 180 yards in a game. And now he is checking himself out of the game when the team needs him the most. When I first saw him check himself out, I thought he was injured. The man is made of glass. I thought he was injured. But later in the post game, he said he was checked himself out because he was tired. And he was kind of smirking about it. Like he was like, I was just tired. First things first, man. If you're tired, don't tell us. You're a damn professional athlete. You should not be getting tired after a 15-yard scramble. I'm just saying. But guys, way or no way should Anthony Richardson be benched for the rest of the season? Should the Colts bench Anthony Richardson for the rest of the season for being tired? Guys, this is a way. This is a way. This goes beyond being tired. This goes beyond of the ability not being there. This goes beyond of his smirking in the post-game interview saying, yeah, I was just tired. When you admit something like that in public to reporters, to the media, you damn near lost everybody on the team. As a quarterback, everybody looks up to you to be the leader, to be the guy. You have linemen that are literally killing themselves every play for you. Insert the Chargers lineman that nailed that running back, or the defensive lineman rolling up on Justin Herbert's leg. They will literally kill for you. They are out there each and every play giving 115%, dog-ass tired, and you tap yourself out because being a little tired. AR-12 lost the locker room with that statement. AR-12 lost his team with that statement. Anthony Richardson is just not the guy. We've been saying it for a few weeks now. Ever since Joe Flacco started, insert Joe Flacco in the Pittsburgh Steelers game, come back and won that game. I've said it. Mark said it. Many people have have said it. Flack around and find out. Joe Flacco is better for this team anyways. People play better for Joe Flacco. They will literally lay their lives on the line for Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco is not going to check himself out because he's tired. There is a reason why quarterbacks never really ever come out of the game unless they're injured. It's because there's so much information going through the quarterback. The cadence, the checks, the reads, the plays. Even a bad quarterback, it is hard to replace. But you are in the red zone trying to score down by 10 points versus a great Houston Texas team. That score could have potentially catapulted you to great. It could have done something. Dig deep. Suck it up. Figure yourself out. Anthony Richardson should not even be done this season, benched, put him on the freaking practice squad for all I care. But his career in Indianapolis is probably done. Me as a coach, if a player comes to me, taps himself out, yeah, I'm tired. Like, I get it. You are tired. But you, my freaking quarterback. It is not like you're running every freaking play. You step back there, you take a little step. Like, come on. Guys, way or no way should Anthony Richardson be benched. I said AR-12, it should be AR-5. Should Anthony Richardson be benched for the rest of the season? I'm saying way. I am saying way. James Frank says start Joe Flacco. Flack around and find out, right? Exactly. Flack around and find out. Start Joe Flacco. JDT 93 says, I said it last week, Detroit still can't stop the pass. Look what Calvin Ridley did to the DBs in Detroit. A little bit of pass rush. Derek says, I like the extra time. Me too, Derek. We actually got to talk a lot about the Dallas Cowboys. I actually cut some stuff out and got to talk to the Dallas Cowboys. John says, you bought a jersey because of pride. What the hell are you even talking about? John says, or Laura says, I always look for the show daily. Thank you for that, Laura. James says, Anthony Richardson isn't the one. At this point, he's not looking like it. Not looking like he is the one at all. Come on, dog. Come on. John People says, if Flacco starts, they make the playoffs. And John, you are spot on. If Flacco starts last week versus the Texans, they probably win that game. CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans got a tough schedule, and it's kind of wearing on them. The sophomore slump is a real deal. They needed that win, and they couldn't get it. And Laura says, sure, if it helps the Vikings win on Sunday night. Derek says this is his rookie year. It is his rookie year in theory, right? He got hurt, third or fourth game into his true rookie season. But that is no excuse, Derek. That is no excuse for making bad reads. That is no excuse to literally being one-dimensional, right? When he rolls to the right, he will pass the ball. When he scrambles to the left, he will run. There literally is no excuse at this point. You are 8 weeks into the NFL season. You should not be getting tired. Your conditioning should be there at this particular point. This tells me he did not take off-season seriously. He is not taking practice seriously. He is not taking his health seriously. It shows me that he is not a professional athlete. John says, wait, if they want to win, he's on the bicycle the whole time. James says, you don't see Joe Flacco, who is way older than him, because he's tired. Let Richardson go, split some bars in the booth. Spit those bars in the booth. All right, guys. So way or no way is Anthony Richardson's season over? Is it over? Is it over? Is it over? I gotta say yes. Season, career, life in Indy is over. I saw Pat McAfee's tweet. He is pissed. Pissed. But guys, that is our first 2-hour show of the week. We'll be back tomorrow, 1:30 East Coast time to 3:30 East Coast time, 2-hour show. James says, stick with the 2 hours. I'm out. Great show, man hour, Buck. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. You guys are all enjoying the 2 hours. But tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll do the 2-hour show. And we got the after-hour show, the power ranking show. The Toxic Table is back with Mark D and Hoffy. We got something good for you guys. But until then, stay safe. Enjoy the game tonight. Giants versus Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers in the dub. 10-point win. I think the Giants keep it close. The Steelers add a touchdown late to really seal it in. That being said, guys, until tomorrow, we out.